Hey, how you doing? Tune into Desktop Thoughts every week to hear my thoughts on what's going on here in America and see who's lying to you. And let's check the numbers, by the way. Have a good day.
Hey, how you doing? I'm HKD, and I'm gonna be going over some Corona stuff. Stuff hasn't really been adding up to me, but I like to back up what I say with the sources you see I'm pulling it from, and don't take these as these are all my opinion, but I just like to, no one's really ever backing up what they say, so here we go. I made a little text document with like an outline of what the points I'm gonna make, and down here you can see the sources are with it. I'm gonna make this available for download underneath the video. Okay, so the one thing is that the CDC has issued guidelines to all the hospitals, you know, whether or not they've been tested or not. You know, if they just look like they have COVID, which is just pneumonia. From the flu or COVID, you die from pneumonia. It takes over your lungs. So really, to the naked eye, you can't tell unless if it's flu or COVID. And this right here outlines that they do not need a COVID-19 test to mark the death certificate. COVID-19. You know, they just have to be sick basically and die from pneumonia, and they can list as COVID-19. Now if you notice, this is the coronavirus daily death tolls, and it's just, if you go to the States, New York is just getting pummeled. I mean, we know that's just, you know, a snake pit there, but I'm not saying anything, but they're just getting absolutely pummeled in New Jersey and just all around that region. Just doesn't add up. It's not trend. I mean, it's not. This isn't happening in other states, and in reality, probably millions have already gotten this. But that's beside the point. We're just going to stick to the facts. So that's a fact. CD issued those guidelines that they don't need a test, and I've seen some reports say up to 40% of people who on the death toll in New York had no test. So the flu last year killed 80,000 in 3 months in just the winter. So that's 10 times worse. Let's go look. Make sure you know I'm not making that up. No. Yep. 80,000 people from the CDC themselves last winter. Highest death toll in 40 years from the flu. I'm sorry, that's 2017, 2018 winter. 80,000 3 months. We're at 20,000. We're past 3 months. Okay, not to mention this year already. This is as of mid-March. 24,000. It's at about 35,000 deaths as to date, US alone, from the flu. Odd, huh? Just saying it's odd. Just an opinion. Just something to look at. Something to compare. Something to analyze, you know, not from the media, not from an article, you know, just from the numbers. If you just saw the numbers and had no one telling you about this, would you freak out? Okay, we already said that. Flu has killed 35,000 USA alone. This is another point I made to somebody. Drug ODs, suicides, hunger, smoking, and alcohol. There's many other things that kill tons of cancer and all that. I didn't put that there because I don't think they're influenced by this quarantine. These things alone, per year globally, drug ODs, suicides, hunger, smoking, and alcohol, have claimed up to 5 million lives as of March 27, 2020. I have the sources all down below. That's Worldometer, I'm pretty sure. So if crashing the economy in terms of hunger and being stuck at home bored out of your mind, in terms of the others, doesn't increase these rates, I would find that hard to believe. You don't think sitting at home, being quarantined, doesn't make you turn to drugs? You know, you don't think crashing the economy doesn't make people go hungry in third world countries that rely on our aid? So, suicides. You don't think this is increasing global suicides? So I was modest. I ran the numbers. 5 million as of March 27, 2020. Just ran the numbers. If the side effects of a global lockdown has increased those rates by 1%, just 1% increase of those rates, which they fluctuate every year depending on, how happy people are, how available the drugs are. There's so many factors. So yes, 1% is a modest fluctuation that a global shutdown could easily do to these rates. So 1%, that means in 3 months, if this affected it or raised it by 1%, these rates, 43,500 have died. An extra 43,000 from this quarantine. That's 1%. I put 5%. Remember, this is just till March 27th. If it increased it by 5%, or say the next 3 months is increased by 5%, it'd be just 5%. I think shutting a global economy down could do 5% fluctuations. Increased hunger, increased suicide, increased drug ODs, increased smoking, increased alcohol-related deaths. These are just numbers we're looking at. We're not looking at any sensationalism. Those numbers probably will go up. If it's 5% they go up, it'd be 217,000 deaths. So the global death for corona is nowhere even near that. So who has more blood in their hands? Are we protecting each other from this? What else is this doing? How are our diets and our exercise routines right now? So anyway, another point to look at. 85% of deaths are already morbidly ill people. Diabetes, heart disease, you name it, they're already on their deathbed. I saw another statistics, it's like over 50% would have already died this year just from being old and sick. So, and 99% are 60 plus. It just sounds like it's not even that bad of a flu bug. If you run the numbers, I'm sorry. If you run the numbers, 2017 to 18 winter just was far worse so far. We'll see though, fingers crossed. But numbers are not adding up. New York is over 50% of the death toll alone. So I ended this with some good news. Since all these, tolls and shit are probably inflated anyway, one toll you can look at that is assuring is just the total death every year. Are we just a general question asked, have we gotten better in the last 10 years? The answer is yes. Since it looks like the natural health kick of 2010 is the only thing I can see the kick of. If you look at the graphs, we've been life expectancy went up to 70 plus. Just keeps going up since 2010. The past 50 years, it's been way up. We just keep going up. The life expectancy means more people are being born than dying and living longer, healthier. So overall, we're getting healthier and dying less. So quit listening to the news. This is the only figure that isn't inflated. We can keep a tally of dead versus alive. I hope. Alright, this is HKD, and